can't be that stupid. Y'all can't be falling for this stuff.
Now, in the last Congress, Chairwoman Green literally showed a dick in our oversight congressional hearing. So I thought I'd bring one as well. Now, this, of course, we know is President Elon Musk. He's also the world's richest man.
This video is brought to you by Incognito, Ladies and gentlemen, it's so important for you to understand this. Your information is being bought and sold online all the time. Your email, phone number, all of the above. Why do you think you get so many email spams? Why do you think you get so many people calling you on your cell phone? It's because your stuff has been compromised. But I want to encourage you that Incognito can help you get to the bottom of this and remove your content that's on these unwanted websites. But let me tell you the difference between a VPN and Incognito, because I think this comes up all the time. A VPN literally helps you when you're in a Wi-Fi situation and it blocks the Wi-Fi from extracting your information. What Incognito does is that they hunt down your information that has already been compromised. Incognito sends on your behalf a data protection law compliance request to these websites to take your stuff down immediately. Let me give you an example of what the dashboard looks like. This is what Incognito looks like in action. So all you got to do is go to the dashboard. Obviously, this is not mine because it'll blow the internet, and I don't want to compromise my stuff by telling you about not compromising your stuff. So my video editor, the manager of my YouTube, he voluntarily did this. So this is a little bit of what his looks like. 271 completed. There's 53 in progress, and they sent out 324 requests. There's over 203 hours that he's been able to save by putting his information in and letting Incognito do its thing. Just imagine 203 hours of you doing this yourself. It sounds like a nightmare. It shows you all the things that were logged and protected and that your data was removed from. It's always working and operating, and you can see over time how much data that Incognito is removing. Now, if you saw mine, it would be astronomical, because I have to protect my data and my stuff is spread all over the internet everywhere, probably in multiple countries, and Incognito can help you with that. So all you have to do is go to incognito.com/Tatum and use my code and get 60% off the annual plan. Use my code Tatum and a link in the description section, which is incognito.com/Tatum, and you'll get 60% off your annual plan. You need to get Incognito today and get your data back. Let's go into the next story. Democrat Representative Garcia has a meltdown over Elon Musk in committee hearing. Call him a you-know-what. These people are so deranged they can't even keep themselves together. Let's put that clip up here real quick.
Well, thank you. Thank you to all of our witnesses for being here. And I want to just start off by making something clear. I think we're all here to fight against the lies, the corruptions, and the attacks on our social safety net. Now, we should in no way be cooperating with House Republicans who want to shut down the Department of Education and destroy Medicare and Medicaid. And we should not stand by as the richest man on the planet gives himself and his companies huge tax cuts while the American people get absolutely nothing. Now, I find it ironic, of course, that our chairwoman, Congresswoman Green, is in charge of running this committee. Now, in the last Congress, Chairwoman Green literally showed a dick in our oversight congressional hearing. So I thought I'd bring one as well. Now, this, of course, we know is President Elon Musk. He's also the world's richest man. He was the biggest political donor in the last election. He has billions of dollars in conflicts of interest, and we know that he is leading a power grab, also abided by and encouraged by Donald Trump and, of course, the chairwoman, Congresswoman Green. But I also want to run through what DOGE actually is going to do. It's a demolition plan that's going to run through our government. DOGE is trying to abolish the Department of Education. That means opportunities denied to kids. It means you're ripping away opportunities for children with disabilities who are dependent on this money. You're also halting medical research, which is also critical, which we have to also stop. The idea that we are going to eliminate or destroy the Department of National Institutes of Health, NIH, is crazy. Let's talk about the Department of Labor. We're talking about protections for working people across this country, where people can actually complain about abuses their companies are making against them and their coworkers. Workers are now going to be in danger. And let's also talk about the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, another huge issue for us. Think about the scammers and fraudsters that will be empowered across this country, because Elon Musk wants, essentially, these companies have more power over consumers and over people in this country.
It looked like it was a little more there, but it looked like it ended abruptly. You know, put that fool back on the screen and fast forward to where he had his little chart. No sound. Just leave it paused. This is the stuff I be talking about, and I think most people agree with me on this. They literally create fake stories, and we can see it as clear as the noonday sun now, because they hate Donald Trump, and now they hate Elon Musk. Not one time can they articulate, if Donald Trump or Elon Musk is going to get rid of these departments, how does it benefit him? Think about it. The Department of Education. How does that benefit Donald Trump if they're going to get rid of it for a beneficial reason to themselves? As an individual benefit, how does it benefit them getting rid of the Department of Education? So you telling us they just doing it because they just feel like doing it, because they just want to hurt, because they want to hurt kids' opportunities to learn and special needs, because they just feel like doing it one day. One day they just decided to put their life on the line, because Elon Musk have to have crazy amounts of security. He's a private citizen. Donald Trump literally almost got killed, ran for office for I don't know how many years, put his life on the line, his family life on the line, indictments and all that. He did that just to get rid of the Department of Education so your kids can't read. You can't be that stupid. Y'all can't be falling for this stuff. Department regulations, workplace are danger. People can't complain to that. What are you talking about, bro? There is something called United States of America. There are states. States have rights. States have regulations. States have oversight. The school that you go to right now is run by the state, funded by the state. They may have subsidies and some guidance from the federal government, but it's run by the state. You paying property tax in your area funds the school that you go to, not the United States government. The teacher that's hired is hired by the state. So they got to pass state exams. You don't pass a federal exam. You pass a state exam. The kids have to pass state exams in order for them to graduate from high school. State. What are y'all even talking about? These agencies are slush fund agencies, and they've done nothing positive. We have the worst education in the world. We do. When any first world country with as much GDP that we have and as much spending that we've spent in education, for our results to be where we're at, we're the worst out of any country in the world ever to ever exist. And you telling me we should just let the not the health department, but the Department of Education, let it just do what it's going to do. These Democrats are literally showing you exactly who they are. They're telling you specifically that they rather for there to be government control over your education, regulations in the workforce, regulations in government oversight in health, and all these things that you should be able to make decisions on your own, or your state should be able to make that decision. They want the federal government to make that decision. And they're the first ones crying about a dictatorship. They're the first ones crying that we got a dictator now. If we have a dictator and Donald Trump was such a big dictator, then why would he get rid of these? He can control these entities through the federal government. You got to make your mind up. Either he's a dictator or he's not. A dictator will want every government system in place so they can manipulate the country through government entities. But a man that's withdrawing these government access and government oversight over states, to me, don't sound like a dictator. When you're saying that abortion should be left up to the states, that don't sound like a dictator to me. A dictator says, no, the federal government should make that decision for you. Therefore, I have the power to make that decision for you as an individual person. These people are silly. Let's go to the next clip of CNN. They pretty much articulated why, or at least posed the question, is this a good idea to call Elon Musk a you-know-what? Roll a clip.
I want to hear why, but do you think that calling Elon Musk a dick is effective messaging for confronting what is a potentially irreversible transformation of the U.S. government?
Well, he is a dick. And I think that he's also harming the American public in an enormous way. And what I think is really important, and what the American public want, is for us to bring actual weapons to this bar fight. This is an actual fight for democracy, for the future of this country. And it's important to push back on the chairperson of this committee. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene talks about having decorum, about bipartisanship. This is the person that lies more than anybody else in the entire Congress. And so if she is going to make a mockery of hearings, I want to make sure that us as Democrats are bringing that same level of energy. And of course, after those comments, we went into exactly what Elon Musk is trying to do: dismantling the Department of Labor, dismantling the Department of Education, dismantling all of our consumer protection agencies. And so it's all important, but it's also important to get the attention of the American public and call Elon Musk out for what he is, and to make people know that Marjorie Taylor Greene is not a serious legislator and she shouldn't be treated as such.
Good luck. I hope they keep doing this because we're going to keep winning. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she got her issues, but to say that she's just telling lies, it's crazy to me. There's no real necessity for, this is how I look at it. And this is what I hope that you guys get from this. A little bit of entertainment, but a little bit of empowerment to know that you're on the right side and to call these people out for the atrocities that they're committing. The Democrats are the ones who are the most foul out of any political party in history. Even the Democrats of old ain't as foul, except when they were slave owners and they hated black people. And then they try to say the party switched. It never switched. I think the ones now are getting as bad as the ones of old, to be quite honest. There must have been a period of time where Democrats actually were reasonable, I think. Since then, they just haven't been reasonable. Screaming and crying and spitting because they want transgenders in women's sports. But they say Me Too and we should believe all women and trust women in the Me Too movement. Not the Me Too movement, but they had little vaginas on their head and stuff. Women's rights and feminism and all this stuff. But then they let men who are confused about their gender dominate women in sports. Are you guys serious? Their billionaires can make references and give guidance on healthcare, but then ours can't. Bill Gates is not a virologist, but yet they take his word as gospel and his donation money, and he's fine. When Jeff Bezos and them and Zuckerberg was on their side, they were cool. And now they on Trump's side, and now they bad.